Hi everyone, my name is Vikalp, a game designer here at Gamecrafters Collective. In today's video, we'll be talking to Kenny, a game developer and my colleague, to learn more about his background, his experience working here at the Collective, our latest game Cluck Yeah, and a bit about the Academy. So Kenny, how are you?
Hello, Vicol. Happy to be here.
So tell me a bit about yourself, your background, how you got into games.
Hello, my name is Kenny. I am a game developer for GCC and I have been for the past 4 months. My first introduction to game design was around 15 years ago, where I got introduced to Scratch, my first introduction to visual scripting. A few years later in secondary school, I got introduced to Python, which I absolutely hated, so I decided to focus on anything non-game computing and media studies. I was planning on picking up game design again in college, but someone got in my ear that I needed artistic skills, so I chickened out and decided to continue my studies of media. I picked up my diploma and went on to study film in university. During the pandemic, I had an opportunity to make a switch to game design, and I jumped at it, and I've loved game development ever since, especially game programming and game design. Throughout that time, I've learned 3 game engines: Unity, Unreal Engine 4 and 5, and Godot. And I'm happy to say today I've now got a bachelor's in computer game development and a master's in game design. And now I'm here.
Wow, what an interesting journey. So, how did you come across the collective? Tell us a bit about that. And how has been your experience working here?
So I found GCC completely by chance. I mass applied to as many game development companies as I possibly could, and GCC was one to give Little Me a shot. Since then, I've worked on multiple games. I've had the opportunity to work remotely with people from across the globe with a range of different specialties. The organization's been amazing through ClickUp and meetings, and I've had the opportunity to wear different hats. So whilst I'm signed on as a game developer, I've had an opportunity to work on level design and a little bit of marketing. Nothing but positive words.
Wow, that's really cool that you've been working on multiple game projects. So, let's talk about one of those games, namely the popular Cluck Yeah. Tell me a bit about it and what role have you played in its development so far?
I mean, I wouldn't go as far to call Cluck Yeah popular yet, though I will say we had 120 players in the first 4 days of the public beta, which is amazing. My role in Cluck Yeah, I jumped in super late, but I did a little bit of collision work on some of the obstacles, including the hammer. And in the background, I've been working on some level scripts which interacts with obstacles and background assets, where we can start implementing levels for pacing. So whilst it's not in the game yet, I have been working on that on the side, so a little bit of a teaser for you there.
Wow, super excited for what's to come. And as you mentioned, Cluck Yeah is currently being tested. It's in public beta and it's currently being tested by a lot of players. So, how has the reception been like? And how are you guys collecting feedback?
So Cluck Yeah has had a positive reception. We have a couple of methods of collecting feedback. Our first is through an in-game form. This will pop up when the player plays 3 times. The player doesn't have to fill it in, they can turn it off if they want to, but if they do decide to fill it in, we see the feedback through a form and we discuss the comments through meetings. And we also track basic analytics for balancing purposes.
Interesting. So, I've noticed that there has been a lot of competition within the team in trying to get a new score, a new high score, trying to, be on top of the leaderboard. So, how has that been like? And what's your score?
I think implementing a leaderboard in public beta was an absolute ingenious move. As of right now, we don't have any narrative or an objective, but the leaderboard gives the player a reason to keep on playing. I'm happy to say I'm in the lead. I'm Cluxton's #1 protector. Cluxton can always rely on me. And yeah, competition in the company has been absolute fierce. And hopefully we're encouraging others to do the same. Just leave my score alone, please.
Well, you're gonna get dethroned sooner or later, Kenny. Anyways, I wanted to end this video on a final question. I wanted to touch a little bit on the academy. So I've heard that it's a very good initiative for graduates or recent graduates or people trying to get into the games industries. So what are your views on this?
So the Academy aims to help game makers grow in 5 main aspects. Tools, which can include game engines, 3D modeling, tabletop design, he should be able to help them with that VicOp. Craft, which should allow them to use these tools efficiently. Teamwork, which should allow them to work in a team efficiently. And hopefully after the academy, they should leave with a portfolio of games and a network of people. The academy has 3 main aspects. This includes Foundations, which is for game makers who don't have the required knowledge to make games but want to learn. This will be done through a series of modules. We then have the Incubator, which is for a team who already has knowledge. They come through with a team pitch, and we will help them make a 30-minute demo with help from an experienced game maker. And then finally we have Pitchcraft, which is for pitching an idea. You don't have to have a required amount of experience for this. This will be voted on by our community in a 12-month period, quarterly, and the team will make the winning game. This will all be archived with postmortems, research, how-tos, and so on. So yeah, I'm very excited about the academy.
Well, I really look forward to its inception. Thank you very much for this information and for sitting down with us and giving us your time and sharing your experience with us. And we will catch you soon. Thank you and bye.